with
Boom.
that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Got it.
150.
149.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
149.
Getting a little too ahead of yourself there, Kylie,
I
by one.
am always.
You do know we're not doing anything major for 150. We're just
Yeah.
going to go multiples of 100 now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing 149 on the Twitch channel from 7 days ago.
That's what I thought. Did I do it
Damn
wrong,
it.
Pete?
No, I did it wrong.
Mm.
Well, you can show where my head's been this week.
150.
Yeah, you can show I've been at work this weekend and acted like a moron.
Confirming.
It's good that I'm here.
Thanks, CD.
Exactly. 3, 2, 1.
Oh no, CD belongs to me. Y'all can't have him. I need him to keep my shit. To keep my shit in check. Yeah, you ain't taking him. No,
I wasn't gonna ask.
Don't be complimenting him and shit. No, fuck
No,
that. I need
split
him. He's important.
We'll share custody.
So, Kylie, what days do you want CD? Monday through Wednesday?
I need
every
him.
other week and 2 weekends a month.
Oh Jesus.
Rezo, that means you get me then.
Oh, that's right.
Oh no.
Even trade for me.
I'm not sure who's getting the better deal out of this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like you're just ripping me off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, let's be honest though. Would a show really get done if Kylie was left on her own?
It would be an interesting experience.
Yeah, but like, who's the?
That's for sure.
Who's the mastermind behind the show, though? That's the thing.
Minds don't really enter our show.
And I'm not sure if master might be overstating it.
Definitely, I would agree.
Like the only difference between your show and my show is the fact that your show doesn't have me. That's the only real difference.
Bueno, Brinzo.
And we've been running longer. You know, we haven't had a rebrand.
Don't say that, because I might have.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Are you trying to frame the rebrand as a bad thing? Fuck you, buddy.
No, not at all. I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. I'm just saying.
You're just saying it's a thing.
Yeah, it's facts.
It was a choice. It was a choice that was made. That the other
like
half
I said to you at the time.
The other half the party could have said no to, but he didn't. So,
and like I said to you at the time, I felt it made sense because, like you mentioned on the show last week, or when Fernie was on your show last week, that the name's great, just didn't fit the bill for what you were going for, so needed a
knowing my luck, someone's gonna take that shit now.
Registering the caffeinated banter cast immediately. Thank you. I wouldn't do that really. As much as I want to get one up on you, Reza, I wouldn't want to do that.
I appreciate the honor.
Well, and the honesty as well.
Yeah, mostly the honesty.
Chat, you have 2 minutes.
But don't. But don't get it twisted. If I could get one up on you.
I mean, I suspect this episode might be doing that.
Yeah, if I could like get one up on you, and still not look terrible while doing so.
Look, I make myself look terrible at the best of times.
So
there's no effort required.
CD, that was crazy because your hand that
Yeah.
was oh my gosh, you're magic.
He is. You have no idea.
Magic powered by NVIDIA.
Try working with him some days. Oh God.
Oh my goodness. Okay, chat. You got 1 more minute. Usually Nana shows up.
He does usually. Sorry, I'm just sort of doing my bits in the background.
Don't do bits.
What? Checking all this. like checking the sound quality and all that.
Don't do your bits on screen, Pete.
I mean,
Twitch
it's enough
doesn't
to
let
get
you
you
do
banned,
that.
of course.
Unless you're Amaranth.
Yeah, but she has privilege, you know.
She does. She has redhead privilege.
That is not redhead privilege, and y'all know it.
No, I meant big tit privilege.
Yeah, that's what that is. Sitting here saying redhead privilege, like y'all got me fucked up. Like her being redhead's the only reason she gets away with it. Get the fuck out of my face. Get the fuck out of my face.
It
y'all
helps.
Know. It probably helps. That ain't the only
helps.
reason though.
All she has to do is put glasses on, and then she'll cover everything.
Right,
well,
like,
maybe get about 5 feet taller. Oh my gosh. Okay. I really like. Should we wait on Nana?
Don't worry about it.
Pete's checking sound.
What? Sorry?
Should we wait on Nana or just go for it?
Well, just give me a minute or so just to actually do my checks.
I'm sleepy.
You can be entertaining for a minute, can you not?
A minute's too long for me to be entertaining.
Oh Jesus!
I'm not.
For about 5 seconds.
Jesus, we're fucked.
No.
We are fucked.
Yeah, I know. Good luck with this one.
We are.
You're gonna wish you didn't.
You really are just asking me and CD to carry this fucking show, aren't you?
Yes.
That's that.
Yes. Pete and I had a discussion beforehand.
He's like, no. It's like, listen, I'm gonna keep it real with you. You two are gonna be carrying the show, this week.
I'm on my second glass. Wait till I hit that third.
Only
glass.
second.
Only second. Just started.
I think you hit 5 last week, so yeah, it's only gonna go downhill from here. And it was only the 2 of us last week too.
Look how pretty this bottle is. It looks like C-3PO.
You sure it's only her second?
I'm mostly certain about that one.
Drink 3PO. Oh boy.
I do press X to doubt on those a fair few times.
You know, cough medicine's supposed to be taken a couple times a day.
But
you sitting here sloshing that shit like it's drinking water. You might want to slow down a little bit. Just saying, take it easy. You know, pace yourself.
That is not my language. My vocabulary.
We can see that.
There's Nana.
There we go. There we go.
Nana says hello and welcome back, Resident Codette.
Hello there.
Still waiting on Pete. I am supposed to be entertaining right now, but to be fair, I'm so tired.
I know. Sorry, 2 seconds. I'll be back in a minute.
This is usually where I chat to the audience, but I'm really talking to myself. I really have nothing to say today.
Oh my goodness! You should have just let me take the. You should have let me take the lead this episode. That's you fucked up.
How's the weather where you are, Rizzo?
Cold. It's fucking cold.
Is it really?
Yeah, the fuck you think I'm wearing this thing for? Indoors.
Fashion.
Get the fuck out of here. It's fucking cold. What are you talking about?
I just thought it was an aesthetic choice.
No.
Of course.
A beanie indoors? No, dog. That's not an aesthetic choice. That's because I made the mistake of not wanting people to know I'm balding, so I shaved my head, and then I realized, oh shit, it's actually cold. Better wear a beanie.
Hey, dudes are lucky they can pull off that look.
Sorry, you haven't seen me with a bald head then.
Bald is beautiful. I don't care. Everyone can pull it off. You just gotta try.
I did. As a kid, I had it, and my head's
I knew
misshapen.
Yep, I knew you were gonna say you had that haircut as a kid. Like every guy I know had that haircut as a kid, like shaved.
Only reason I started shaving my head is because the pandemic happened and haircuts went up by a solid like $8 where I live.
Well, I haven't had my haircut in 3 years, and I'm going to go do that this week.
And I'm not paying someone like almost $30 for a fucking haircut. So,
dude, what? $30?
Yeah.
And there I was thinking £20 was enough.
Oh
Yeah,
my
no.
gosh.
No, not really. So
Jesus.
I was like, I'm
go on.
not paying you motherfuckers that much for a haircut. Simple.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
Fuck,
mad.
I'll pay $20 and do that shit myself. This is
Exactly.
easy.
Just buy yourself some clippers, do it yourself. It's nice and
Yeah.
simple.
See, you dudes are lucky.
Nana's put, I was going to say I know several women that pull off the bald
Yeah.
look. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
It's pretty badass.
anybody
It
can
is.
do it. You just gotta do it. That's all there is to it. Anybody
I
can
have
do
a
it.
big
It's all about
giant
confidence.
head. I have a giant head. It would never work.
It could
I
work.
have. I do.
You gotta be
look,
confident.
Well, I can pull that off. I will say what I want to do, but it's such a cliche now. I don't think I can do it. Which is, yes, I want to go get it shaved here, up to here.
Oh, God.
Cut
So
here.
so you want to go...
And then
So
long.
yeah,
And then it's
so
like,
you want to go
everyone's
with
like,
the
oh.
staff writer at a gamer look then?
See? And I was like, well, I can't do that now. Because that is a certain type of person that I am not. And I just wanted to look cool.
So basically what you're saying is you don't want to have the look of someone who would go onto Twitch to try and cancel a Hogwarts Legacy streamer.
Here's what I will say. I wanted to look like I was cyberpunk, as in the genre, not the game. And then that haircut got co-opted, and it's like, no, I don't want it anymore. Thank you.
Understandable.
Fair.
It's like the small top knot sort of thing that you get with guys with the tiny little ponytails.
The man bun?
The man bun, yeah.
Yeah. I think now you know why I cut my hair. Sure.
Thank God. You got
rid of your man bun?
Thank God the only negative
I didn't have a man bun.
Thank God the only negative association with being bald in pop culture is being a fucking villain. That's the only negative association with being bald is just being a fucking villain. And as you know,
that fits your bill very well.
Lex is a cool name. It's a very cool name.
There are Lex, Kingpin. There's plenty of bald dudes who are villains. You can't it's perfect. That's the only negative association with being bald. The rest of you guys have to remember what haircuts you guys have. I shaved my head. That guess what? I'm on the fast track to taking over the world, baby. Fuck every single one of you. I'm out here. Let's go.
Vulture's bald-headed.
Those important 10 minutes where everyone else does their hair, he spent plotting world domination.
Charles Xavier's bald-headed.
Yeah.
Are we literally just gonna list bald characters in media? This is the show now. Welcome to the show, everyone.
Luke fucking Cage. Let's fucking go.
Luke Cage. Oh, that's a good one. Steel.
Yeah.
From
Oh, we're not really.
Although that has the negative association of being played by Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh yeah.
And having an absolutely terrible costume.
It was terrible. I would. Okay. Yeah. One of the very first superhero movies, and they just dropped that ball. Just flat out dropped it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll board the other two. Okay. Pete, do you want to count me in? And then I will start the show.
Yes, let's do this. So, 3, 2.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio, episode 150. That's 150. I'm your co-host, Kylie Wild, and I'm joined by my co-host and several guests today. So, we're going to get through this, I promise. My co-host, Pete Beckett.
Hello.
I'm also joined by Rezo.
Hi.
And CD, otherwise known as Cold Death.
Hello.
Both villains today, apparently, and their layers. So, as you can probably tell, it's going to be a lively and very fun show. It's actually a really cool topic that we picked up actually last week.
After your unbelievable slander of the GameCube controller.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We got so much to talk about. But every week I like to open the show by asking our guests or ourselves how our week has been. So, Rezo, how has your week been?
Oh shit, she started with me. Fuck.
That's right, I did.
Fuck, that's unfortunate. I wasn't prepared for that. That wasn't what part of the game plan. I'm good. I'm gonna keep it 100% with you. I'm about to beat Chrono Trigger for the first time in my life, and the closer I get to the ending to that game, the more I have to remember I'm still time traveling, and this shit still is not working out for me the way I thought it was. You get to a certain point, and this crazy bitch pops up in like 5 different time periods with her fucking mothership floating over the world, and I'm like, okay, how do I eliminate this bitch out of history? And I'm like, I have to kill you in the past, don't I? Because if I kill you in the future, there will still be like 4 other fucking versions of you existing all at the same exact goddamn time. Oh,
such a good game, y'all. It's such a good game.
I debated, because people were complaining at me about how I was playing the game. I debated on not bringing Chrono back. But no, I debated on acting like I didn't know how to bring Chrono back and then beating the game without Chrono. And just
people complaining about you playing the game. That's the first.
Yeah, I was gonna do that.
Yeah.
That was my original plan. Was like, okay, I'll just act like I have no idea how to bring Chrono back and then beat the game just dead ass without Chrono. But then part of me was like, bro, I spent like 3 hours grinding out skills on every single character. I am not about to not have that boy back on my team. That's not an option. That's not a choice. That we're not doing that.
You know, funnily enough, back when I played that game on emulator, back, I don't know how many years, that's pretty much how I beat the game the first time.
Yep, I would agree. That's exactly how I did it as well. Also on an emulator.
Yeah. Have you seen those kinds of videos that are going around? It's like, can I beat the game without doing X thing? Well, maybe you should do how can I beat the game without using Chrono once?
Dude,
that's gonna be a bit difficult.
Bro, there are so many of those videos. There's like one for Persona 5 Royal, like, can I beat Persona 5 Royal without Joker doing anything? So Joker just does nothing?
Oh dear.
The one that I've seen is, can you complete the Mario series without touching water, which is next to impossible.
What's the opposite of a speed run? A slow walk?
Taking as long as fucking possible.
That's how I play
it. My slow walk of Fallout 4.
Funniest not funniest, but the most ironic one I saw was SMT without demons.
Oh god.
Gosh.
I mean, is that even possible?
Yeah, it is. Because a YouTuber he did an entire video on beating SMT 5, the one on Switch, without any demons. And then he proceeded to go back and beat the super boss without any demons as well, which required him to then replay the game on New Game Plus 16 times in order to boost up his resistances to where the boss wouldn't instantly kill him in one hit.
I mean, at that point, if you go through 16 times, or 17 at that point, is it really worth it?
Yeah, I guess so. He did it.
Apparently for some. I mean, you could ask the same about a lot of different runs.
Yeah, Elden Ring with the Guitar Hero guitar.
Yes. Can I complete Dark Souls 3 with my feet?
But yeah, Chrono Trigger has presented me with like time conundrums I hadn't expected, because I didn't really pay attention to the game as much as I am now. That's the great thing about what I do, is that now that I'm playing it the way I'm doing it, I'm paying attention. So when you're paying attention, you realize there's all kinds of like wonky time travel shit that you just never thought about. Like there's a character you meet at the start of the game. He's selling weapons at the Millennial Fair. This guy tracks throughout like 4 different time periods throughout the entire game. And I had a moment where you run into him at his earliest point in the timeline, but he doesn't know who the fuck you are. And I'm like, wait a minute, we've met before. Oh wait, no, this is way too early in your time stream, isn't it? You haven't
before,
met me.
but not before.
Then you have an existential crisis, and
yeah, Magus gets it.
Your
the
brain
worst.
just explodes and
time
you
is a
reset
flat
it.
circle.
Magus gets it the worst because
Yeah.
we are inadvertently responsible for sending this poor man into a time loop.
Yep.
A really fucked up
Oops.
time loop that we are responsible for. But the game never addresses it and it never brings it up. But we are wholly responsible for the hell this poor child is going to go through over and over and over again, all because we exist. That is fucked.
You know, it's weird though, and I know we're spending a lot of time on our intro, but like, I can't think of any modern time travel games where it's like, I know that there's like, I think Medium where you can switch between like reality, whatever. But that's such a like, I'm gonna call it a genre for lack of a better word. Like, it's just rife with storytelling opportunity.
Yeah,
I
because
think the
most
closest you could probably come is Deathloop recently.
Deathloop is probably pretty
Mhm.
close. You change one thing and then
it's hard to get it right because you have to be really consistent, and if you're not consistent with how you handle time travel, then you get into like Back to the Future
paradoxes.
Well, yeah. Just look at the MCU talking about how every single time travel movie is bullshit. So
Yeah.
Well, that means CD, it's your turn. How's your week been?
Well, generally pretty busy with work, and also thank you for noticing my lair. It has a great view, as you can see.
Fucking CD at Mountain Doom over here.
What a great horizon!
Aha!
Reached for that, audience.
Yeah, but game-wise, I've been continuing my travel through Metroid Prime Remastered.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Got
seeing your
myself-
updates on the Discord, so I've been interested to hear about this.
Yeah. Yeah, I've continued now. I've just recently got the Ice Beam. So I now have the Ice Beam, the Spider Ball upgrade, the Wave Beam, the Varia Suit, the Power Missiles, and the Missile and Beam combo attacks.
Nice. That's where it starts getting like, you're really in the game then.
Oh yeah, and also the space jump boots.
Yes.
Excellent.
Man,
So the double jump, essentially.
that makes me want to play it again.
It's my first time through the game, and yeah, at the time when the game was new, I didn't play on consoles, and I never really got the chance to play it on Wii. So this is essentially the first time going through it, and I got to say, I've seen the review ratings. They seem a bit high.
Oh,
The game is really good. I'm not saying it's bad, but it has its problems.
So in this point, you would say the 96 that it was given on GameCube was probably a bit too much then.
Depending on how it was on the GameCube. That depends, because I've heard that there are one or two things that are not as good with the remaster or even the port to the Wii.
Yeah.
That's worse.
You mean the doors?
No, actually.
No, I've heard the stupid thing about the doors.
Oh, the graphical change for those. No. No, I'm definitely not talking about that. There are two main things. One is the boss fights.
Right?
They're really not great.
Sign of the age of the game that it released, I guess.
You know what? That's a good point. That is, I think that's a good point, Pete. I think, yeah.
They, I don't know, they take a bit too long.
Okay.
A bit too spongy, and with the controls the way they are on the Switch, Especially the most recent one, the rock monster. So, the whole constant switching the visor, switching to morph ball form, dashing out the way, and all that just got annoying.
Yeah, that is a definitely product of its time, for sure.
Yeah,
and probably also because it was more optimized for the GameCube control scheme.
That too. Rezo, do you have something to add?
I'll let him finish. It's fine. It's fine.
Right, and the other thing that I'm noticing is the lock-on really doesn't work all that well.
Oh, you would have loved it on GameCube because you didn't have a lot of options for movement with how the GameCube controller was laid out. So like 90% out of the 10, 9 times out of 10, you were relying on lock-on for like everything. Trust me. The fact that they made Metroid Prime a twin stick shooter now is a godsend because I don't necessarily think I'd want to go back and play it on GameCube. I own it. It's right back there on my shelf. I own Prime and Echoes on GameCube. But
although I did hear that the lock-on GameCube works more reliably.
Yes. Well, it has to.
Because
the controls suck.
Because that's the thing. I get that the game doesn't want to lock on to enemies that are outside of a bit too much of the range. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm not so fine with it not locking on to enemies where the blue indicators are already there and the enemy is close to the middle of the screen. I'm not fine with that.
Yeah, I think that's a port problem. I really do. Because it was like that on the Wii as well.
Yeah, so I've heard. Yeah. They definitely should have remastered that part.
Yep.
Did you love the bit in the Direct where Nintendo were actively explaining how a twin stick shooter works?
Oh gosh.
I mean, if somebody expects the game to be the same as on the GameCube, I get that they did that.
I know. I was just being last week. I was being.
But yeah, it was funny, obviously, for people that are completely used to that kind of control.
Yeah, which is about most people who've played a shooter in since God knows when.
So, audience, we're still in the intros. Pete, how's your week been?
Mine will be short and sweet. I've barely done anything. Next.
What are you playing this week?
Barely anything. Next. No, my time has been spent watching She-Hulk, and I'd rather not talk about that because I've got to talk about that tomorrow.
We had a little chat about that.
That good, huh?
Let's just say that I've got a wardrobe next to me, and I bashed my head against it about 10 times as I was talking to Kylie about it. It is abjectly shit.
There's moments that could have salvaged it. They dropped the ball. They just dropped the ball. They really did. Hello, Latino Heat. Hello to @RapidReviews. Nice to finally catch your live stream. I've been away due to work responsibilities. Yeah, we haven't seen you in a while, but it's great to have you tonight. Yes. I can't talk because I'm 4 glasses in.
Wait a minute, bitch! How are you 4 glasses in? You were 2. You were like 2 when we started.
Yeah,
you
look.
Should have been watching.
This is how it works.
Sure, yeah, Miss Sophie.
Yeah, this is how it works. This is how it turned from 2 before the stream to 5 last week within the space of 45 minutes.
I am Scottish.
See, this is what happens. The glass gets finished and nothing gets poured.
Don't forget I am Scottish. But don't let the American accent fool you.
Reza, I think you're starting to see what I have to deal with on a weekly basis. It's tough work, isn't it? You're all right. You get CDs professional for the best of times.
Hey, I'm fun. I'm witty and fun.
What, CD's not fun?
Oh, no, he is.
Oh, CD's a blast. Absolute last fucking riot.
My turn.
Yeah, let's do it.
So, outside of having to move like an entire office today and pulling my shoulder for the second time this week, which was not fun. Pete informed me that he was looking up some stuff just casually. And apparently I'm listed as about 10 years older than I actually am. So I think I look good for 50.
So let me just explain this. Part of my job requires
or 40 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it makes you 45 or close to 45. Part of my job requires me to use a system in the UK that checks up companies, so I just thought I'd have a quick look just for the shits and giggles a bit.
Yes. So this is the new face of
44.
40, whatever, I don't care. But anyway, that's actually been like
holding up well.
Yeah, it's really in my head the whole time.
Clearly the amount of wine.
Wine keeps you young, it pickles you. Pickles my liver. Anyway, so what I've been playing is the same thing I've been playing for like 2 months now. Alcoholism, the game. I win. But
do you really win, or just get a little worse each time?
No, I win at everything.
Trophy unlocked. Pickled Kylie.
There you go. My corpse is gonna look great.
His bottom row and literally just slapping our heads, just in like, oh my god, what is going on? And you two are just laughing.
This is a thumbnail right here, guys.
The two creative people are just sitting there going, what the fuck is this?
This is the best thumbnail we've ever created.
I'm just gonna hold it here for a while. It's fine.
I've been playing every mobile game that is available in the Apple Store. I got a dadgum Android phone 2 weeks ago, and I hate it. I'm sorry, I hate it. And I know everyone's like, Android's the best because you can customize it and make it do all the things you want it to do. But I couldn't figure out.
Crap.
I couldn't figure out how to answer it. Apparently, when it rings, this is for our audience that doesn't know. When it rings, it comes up your little green ring. I kept pushing it, and it wouldn't answer. It wouldn't answer. Yeah. So
it's a green and the red, and then you have to draw. Pull it.
What is that? That's not intuitive. That is not a UI. Apple, you just push it. So, my review for Android is everyone buy Apple. Guys, you gotta see. I'm sorry for our listeners, but you should see my wonderful compatriots. They want to just jump off cliffs, all of them. Each individual have a cliff.
I think my mind has taken a leap out of this window from the second floor.
I'm an Apple girl all the way through. So
yeah, thanks, Rezo. Absolutely perfect. Yeah.
I'm gonna try my best to stick with it because you know
I have a whole mountain over here that I can jump off.
I mean, are you going to be like the whale from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy before you hit the floor?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump and hit and miss.
That's it. That's flying. That's how you fly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's falling with style, more like.
That too. Latino Heat says, I loved your Neurotro Pro review. Those earbuds seem nice, and that giveaway is still going. I actually entered not knowing I blame work. So, and then Nana says, Rezo, don't underestimate how much Kylie can drink. It's true.
Never, ever underestimate it. I'm always surprised. And we've been doing this 150 times.
I know. 150 episodes. So, audience, our true believers, our listeners, and our watchers, we're going to move on to today's topic, where I'm going to turn it over to these lovely, lovely boys. And today's topic, right?
Oh shit!
Yeah, I know. She's buttering you up now, Rezo.
I'm calling your bluff, Rezo.
Oh fun.
We actually are going to talk about a very cool subject. Stick around; it's really good. We are talking about controllers. What do you think? Controllers, people. Like, there's so many iterations and so many different things out there, and who has the best? Who has the worst?
See,
What
that's
about
so distracting, the fact that you picked up something and it's just disappeared.
your hand is gone? For our listeners at home, CD is on a blue screen type thing. It's kind of one of those background things. Half his hand is missing. But
Oh,
yeah.
my turn.
Magician never reveals his tricks.
God, it's really disturbing.
So
We're gonna start, but I do want to ask our audience and our guests and Pete. Do y'all remember? I mean, for real, there's been so many different kinds, but remember when the PlayStation, I believe it was the PlayStation 3 rumors were around? I don't think it was 4.
Oh, what you mean, the
And
boomerang?
Batarang.
Yeah, that was the 3.
Oh, the PlayStation 3 boomerang. I love the look of
I
it.
remember seeing that thing. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think it was even ever. I mean, was it registered?
Yep.
It was.
Yeah,
Okay.
They did one and they showed it at
Okay.
one exhibition.
Oh my gosh, guys!
It was
go
a
look
thing.
that up.
Yeah, that was the prototype version when they first announced the console, wasn't it?
So this is what we're going to be discussing today. I'm going to turn this over to Pete, who's going to turn it over to Rezo anyway.
Yes.
So Rezo, get ready. But
fantastic.
Pete, controllers, hit it.
Why has it taken us 150 episodes to even talk about one of the most important things about console gaming?
Right?
Controllers.
Yeah. All right. It's my turn. It's my turn, right?
Not even just console. Gaming,
Yes.
period.
Yeah, because
gaming, period, yeah.
PC, all of them.
Of course.
Even
So,
Game &
Rezo,
Watch, all of it.
I'll let you take the reins.
So we're gonna have some fun with this, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna talk about controllers, the good, the bad, and the questionable. And what I like to say, and at the end of this, we're gonna talk about the controller, the controller that I believe wholeheartedly is and has become the gold standard of controllers.
Okay.
That set the bar for what controllers have become, but I'm not going to spoil that yet. We're going to get there.
Okay.
We're going to get there.
That's a tease for the audience.
Yeah, so let's talk about the good shit. So I have one with me right now, which I think is by all accounts a good controller. I don't think there's a single person in this group that will disagree. I think that when I hold this up, I don't think any of you will disagree. In fact, if you do disagree, Kylie, if they do disagree, you have to break them in half like Bane did to the Batman.
Sweet.
I was born in it.
And that controller is none other than the Super Nintendo controller. I genuinely believe.
I love how you got the 8-bit dough version though.
I do have an actual one still in box.
I was gonna say, I've definitely got one.
I don't want to go grab that. But
that's exactly the same. So
the Super Nintendo controller, I would say, is arguably a great controller and a standard for what you could say for most controllers. I think you'd be hard pressed to find something else that, like, aside from the gold standard controller I'm going to talk about towards the end of this.
Okay.
I
think the Super Nintendo controller is solid. Hands down.
Yeah. I honestly cannot argue with it. Sorry, Kylie.
No, you're absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. Because if we all remember, we've all played the original NES controller. First of all, how gross it got because your hands would sweat on it. And
I was going to say, the square design of it, not great.
Yeah. And the Nintendo thumbs. Oh gosh, So it was not a great controller. I mean, I'm glad we had it. I think I did play the paddles on Atari, but that's like I was like an infant. I don't even remember. So then Super Nintendo came along, which I assume most of us probably our big one. But the Genesis, okay, the Genesis, I think, and of course I'd love to hear what you guys think. I do think the Genesis improved upon the Super Nintendo only because of this. I liked that it was chunky and it had weight to it. Now, that's a personal preference.
Okay.
But I don't think that would exist without the Super Nintendo iteration. I do think.
Now, I would say,
it would, because the Genesis came first.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, the Genesis is 89,
significantly,
wasn't it? Whereas the
significantly earlier.
1990.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Anyway, now I would say that the Mega Drive controller, or Genesis, if you're wherever you are in the world, very nice controller. It had good weight to it. I did like the handles to it.
Yeah.
But the 3 buttons to it was always a problem for me.
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
when
because it just had 3 buttons and no, from what I remember, no shoulder buttons.
There wasn't. Yeah.
Right.
So when they had the 6-button version that came out, it was a much better controller from there. They cut down on the size of it, unfortunately, but I think it was a lot more sleek as a result.
Yeah.
But in terms of Rezo's first offering, you can't go wrong with a Super Nintendo controller. It's still comfortable even to this day. Used one at a convention about a year ago, and yeah, it's still good.
Yep. It's very intuitive. Very intuitive.
I mean, I use this thing for playing GBA games still on the emulator. I mean, you can't.
Oh yeah.
There's one thing about the SNES controller you got to give it credit for. I think this is more a testament to the SNES itself. Was it did a lot. Like if you look at the wide range of games that was on the SNES.
Oh yeah.
You had a pretty wide variety of games you had to cover.
That was my main console for years.
And unlike the Genesis, didn't require you to buy a whole new controller just to play Mortal Kombat, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, but that's why I mentioned the 6-button controller compared to the 3, because playing Street Fighter on there was not fun with the 3-button controller.
Yeah, because Street Fighter Turbo on a Turbo controller. I've mentioned this so many times on the show, but it's very relevant to hear. But you flip that little turbo button on, and Chun-Li's little leg just goes.
Yeah.
Or
but the problem was
slaps.
Blanca or E-Honda.
E-Honda was the slaps.
Yeah, but Blanca also had another move that required multiple.
Yeah, he had his electricity.
Yes.
The electricity move. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Turbo on that. I missed that.
Yeah, having to press start to slip between punches and kicks, bad idea. Not the greatest.
Now, we established the SNES controller as a good controller, correct? We are all in agreement. And while we might disagree between the SNES versus the Gen...
I'll defer judgment on that because at that time I hardly played any consoles. My only real experience was the Game Gear.
Right. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And after that, I switched over to PC.
Fair enough. I mean, when you could play the Game Gear when it wasn't eating through batteries.
Yeah.
I mean, I never played it. I've never played it on the go, so I always had a power adapter for it. So that was the problem for me.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great controller. It's your basics. You know, like you can't beat that. You cannot beat that.
Okay.
I love
At the time, you didn't need more for handheld.
Yeah.
So,
perfectly fine.
So let's talk about a bad controller. Now, this is going to be spicy.
Okay. Here we go.
Gonna be a little.
I've got one to hand, by the way.
Gonna be a little spicy, but I'm gonna say it because I feel like my show would not be my show unless I was honest. And when I think of a bad controller, the controller that comes to my mind is the N64 controller. It is a bad controller.
Yes,
100%. 100%. The worst controller for me on the list. Well, it's pretty much at the bottom. I won't say it's the absolute bottom. That's coming up.
It's looking forward to that.
Yeah.
The N64 controller is. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing about the N64 controller. Like, I see what Nintendo wanted to do. Like, you get what Nintendo was going for, right? But in practice, I think they were just a bunch of fucking giants there trying to use this goddamn thing. Because I still have no idea how you're supposed to use this fucking controller.
Do you have it there with you?
I don't have it to hand. I don't have an N64 controller.
You know what's the funny... And you know what's the funny thing? Japanese people usually have smaller hands.
Oh, that's a good point.
So I have no idea who this controller... And it's not to say the N64 was bad. I'm saying the controller itself was absolute fucking rubbish. for a variety of reasons. One, the analog stick on it could just go limp.
Snap.
Limp, snap.
Yeah.
Huh.
Could also inhibit a lawsuit.
Yeah,
Rabbit reviews after dark.
And I think that was like the beginning of Nintendo's peripheral nonsense.
Look at this, guys. Look at this.
When you
the expansion pass and
the expansion pack.
This was the first one that I remember.
The Rumble pack.
Dreamcast did it later, but
yeah, the Rumble pack, the memory card, the transfer pack.
Kind of makes me think, if you're holding it like that, it kind of makes me think of a barcode scanner.
Yeah, look at this.
Yep.
Now you might be asking, why didn't you might be asking? Now some of you might be asking, why haven't I brought up Sega at this point? Well, for context,
yes,
I think by the time the N64 close to the PS1, we're talking like the Sega Saturn. And here's the thing about the Sega Saturn. It's basically just a better version of this. Its controller is basically this, but better.
It is.
It was essentially the 6-button Genesis controller.
Yeah, it was basically that. It was basically a SNES controller, but better. So I honestly don't even feel like I have to mention it because I already mentioned the SNES controller, and at that point, you know, we've already established what was good there.
Okay.
But yeah, I think
they kind of should have gone with the Japanese design for the Saturn controller.
Oh yeah, no, the Japanese
outside of Japan, less edges.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we could go into a lot of detail about why there was a lot of stuff wrong with the Saturn.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
So no, can I
I can sum it up in one word, Sega.
I can sum it up in two. America versus Japan.
How so?
That too.
That's 3.
3, sorry, yeah. Because Sega Japan wanted the Saturn and Sega America wanted the 32X.
Oh, okay. That was such a weird time for our
They were fighting it constantly. Okay. Anyway, I want to leverage a bad controller your way.
Okay.
This might be controversial, by the way.
Oh. Okay, I'm ready.
Because I think there is a version of the controller is quite good, but it requires an additional purchase.
Oh god.
This is the one that comes out of the box, and you can use it in multiple ways. For the purpose of the video feed, I'm going to have it the way that I have because I think this way, as well as it in another way, is bad. Joy-Cons.
Agreed.
Yeah.
The Joy-Cons are terrible,
Agreed.
even when you have them in the housing, and on their own, they're awful. However, the Switch Pro controller is excellent.
Much better, although not perfect.
Yeah, of course, but it's just
the D-pad really doesn't feel great.
No, the D-pad is not great to it. The split D-pad of the Joy-Cons is also quite terrible. I understand.
I mean, yeah, obviously compared to the Joy-Cons, it's but yeah.
They're not great to use.
My hands are massive, guys. I'm like 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Like, I have massive hands.
And try using that with those things.
Yeah, and this is the perfect example of why I mentioned Japanese people have smaller hands on average. This shows it.
Yes.
Yes.
100%. Because I've only played the Switch 1 or 2 times. I played Mario. Something else I don't remember. But while I was doing that, I was like, if I just pushed a little, it would break. It would break in my hand. It's so delicate. And I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
No,
That's why when I use the Switch, I generally use the Pro controller, or if I use it handheld, I have gotten myself the Hori Split Pad Pro.
Funnily enough,
much more
I was listening
comfortable.
to a podcast the other day where they said, "Have you seen the new split pad, the new Hori one that doesn't look ugly?"
Honestly, for me,
a newer one?
Honestly,
I don't know.
Honestly, all I've really needed is I use a Satisfy grip.
See, that would work.
Now I've heard they're very good, actually.
Yeah. This made the Switch, because like the Switch by itself, it cramps up my hand, but like the Satisfy grip on it It's actually really comfortable. Like, this is the only reason why I even am able to use it. Elsewise, I would not ever have one.
Yeah, fair play. I mean, I've been waiting for someone to turn around and say it's actually decent, so I probably will actually go and actually grab one now.
Oh, it is. It's fantastic. It's a game changer.
That's very similar to Steam Deck, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
Steam Deck is
Actually, the Steam Deck's actually I've kind of been like,
really good. Yeah, Steam Deck, really good controller.
I want a handheld. I play iPad all the time for my mobile games, but I'd like to have a handheld. Switch, I'm not there yet. But I think I could do a Steam Deck and not.
I think you'd be fine with a Steam Deck then.
Yeah.
So honestly, the Steam Deck was my most positive surprise in recent years in terms of that. When I first saw it, I was unsure how good it would feel or how well it would work because of the configuration of the buttons and all that. But in practice, when using it, it's great.
You forget.
See, that's good.
Okay, so I've been going generationally for a reason.
Yes.
In case you have not noticed. I've been doing this for a reason.
I know, I just wanted to leverage a bad one towards you.
There's a reason I've been going generationally, because now, okay, here's the thing. Kylie, with all due respect, you said that the GameCube controller was a bad controller, correct?
It was, yeah. To me, it was, yes. 100%. Okay. I stand by that.
Now, I think the only reason, and this is a spicy take. I think the only reason why the GameCube controller gets a pass is because Smash Brothers exists. I think I think if Smash Brothers was not in the equation, if Melee was not in the equation, this controller would have been passed up for the PS2 every fucking day of the week. I will
really? Wow.
Yeah, no. I think if Smash Brothers Melee
I love that PS2 controller.
Wasn't the smash hit that it was, forgive the pun. If it wasn't the hit that it was, I don't think this controller, Wavebird or not, would get the pass that it gets. Because there are plenty of reasons I like this.
Terrible controller.
To call it terrible would be a gross mischaracterization.
I will say this. At that time, I was 100% a Sony PlayStation girl, big time. I love the PlayStation 2 controller.
Yeah, I love the PlayStation 2 controller as well.
I'm gonna say I'm biased though. I will say that there's a childhood bias there. I'm pretty sure against it because I didn't like any of the games on the GameCube. Well, I think that Yoshi's Yoshi's Island. I think I like that.
Yoshi Island wasn't on there.
Yeah, it wasn't on that.
That was a SNES.
Yes, it was.
Okay,
so like I know that's a hot take to have, but I think if Smash wasn't a thing, if Smash didn't exist, I don't think the GameCube would be.
Ooh, what do you think?
Okay, well, let me propose a counterpoint to you on this one. Now, I have to solely agree with the Smash Brothers point. This controller wouldn't have gone as long as it has if it wasn't for Smash Brothers and its various different iterations or different generations. However, using the Wii remote for Mario Kart Wii was not great. The GameCube controller on it was an absolute game changer, though.
That's actually a good point. I have to think about that one.
Yeah, like... Yeah, but you know, like a couple of exceptions doesn't excuse it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's the rule. It's definitely an exception.
How many of the buttons do you actually need to use with Mario Kart with that controller?
Control stick, A, trigger, Z to throw weapons, and the up button if you're using a bike. And the up on the D-pad.
Okay, so actually not about that much of it. Yeah,
about half of it. Yeah,
and I think that's why it's better. If you need to use the complete controller.
I mean, you could use the Pro controller on the Wii version of Mario Kart, and that sort of gets me to a point that the Wii Classic controller One version of it is good, and one version of it is bad. But I would still much prefer to use the GameCube controller because actually the handles themselves, like to hold onto, that is extremely comfortable still. No matter what game you're playing, it is an incredibly comfortable controller.
It's weird sitting here talking about this. I actually, even though I can't do the Joy-Cons, like I don't feel confident playing with Joy-Cons. I feel like they'll break any second. The Wii controller, I never really felt that. It was very like intuitive. It's just a finger press, you know what I mean? Or you could do the add-ons and stuff like that. But or turn it this way. But to be fair, I did actually use a lot of the classic controllers on the Wii as well. But there just seems to be something more solid construction to the Wii remote as opposed to the Joy-Cons. But I don't.
Yeah, I mean the Wii remote has a bit more mass to it.
Yeah,
a little.
It does, yeah.
I mean, there was a reason why they could break screens.
Yeah.
There were so many YouTube videos of someone playing Wii Sports without the strap and sending that motherfucker directly through a TV.
Yep.
Shit happened way too
often.
often.
Make sure you have your strap on. Oh my gosh, Pete! There's the name of this episode, by the way.
Make sure you have your strap on. There you go. Writes itself. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry, Pete. You're gonna have to write that one.
Yep, you have to write those words. Those words.
But if it means anything, Pete, I'll use whatever title you use on the audio version for the version I upload. So any title you use, I will commit to using, Pete. So we'll be in this.
It's been committed to the ether. It's in the Discord
now. Okay. So I was going to continue going generationally, but the problem is that if I go any further, we run into the problem where most of these controllers kind of stay the same.
They do.
They kind of stay the same. So I'm going to skip to what I think is the gold standard. The controller, the controller that I think is the gold standard. The controller that I think set the bar for
I have my own.
For every controller that came after it, it has set a bar or has at least become a standard.
Sure.
Okay.
Are you ready? This is gonna be spicy.
Yes.
Okay.
The 360 controller.
Yep.
Yes. 100%. No, it's not controversial.
Yes.
I think this controller.
It is, yes.
It
one of the greatest controllers ever created.
It set the standard. I mean, for God's sakes, man, this is the official controller for PC. Like the Xbox controller. Like, here's the thing, man. The 360 controller is such a standard. I don't think Microsoft is committed to making any actual changes.
They haven't.
Haven't they just started re-releasing them as well as PC controllers?
Yeah.
I was going to say, but you compare them to the Xbox One controller and the Series X, there's not much difference in them.
Well, layout-wise, no. Quality-wise, I'd say yes, because from what I remember, the 360 has been pretty much hailed as the one with the worst D-pad ever.
Yes. Yeah. No.
The D-pad's not great. That's the only downside to it.
You are correct.
And that's a pretty big downside, honestly.
It was. It was a huge downside.
You couldn't do your slidey bits, like especially if you were doing Pete's favorite fighting games. You couldn't roll.
Yeah. Whereas the Series X controller, the Series X and Series S controller have a different kind of D-pad
you can roll all you
even
want,
the Xbox One.
When I'm playing Destiny, I haven't played Destiny in like a year, but you really notice that you can roll it.
CD, stop lifting invisible items, please.
I
don't.
You've got no fingers.
Because I wanted to go into other, but the thing is, like, the only controller, other control, like, aside from like Nintendo that has drastically changed designs across generations, which makes it really difficult to judge because at that point you're judging them all individually, or like Sony, where their controller design changes after PS2. No, after PS3. I'm sorry, after PS3. PS1, PS2, PS3 were all generally
much for the same, yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah, except for the addition of the analog sticks, which happened in the PS1 era, I think.
They had two different versions of
I
that
assume
controller, didn't they?
I always just assume DualShock though. Like I always assume DualShock, dual stick.
Well, yeah, they had the dual analog in Japan only, didn't they, in 1997, and then they had the DualShock in 98.
Yeah. But I always, if I talk about like the PlayStation 1, I'm always thinking of like the DualShock. It's by default. Because I didn't really grow up. I didn't grow up with any other version of that controller outside of DualShock anyway. So
I did. It was no fun.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with those.
I was gonna say definitely early on only DualShock. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you can. Let me give you an idea of how to imagine this, right? So, Rezo, you've obviously played the DS many years ago, and you played Mario 64, right, on there.
Yeah, not very long.
Yeah, it's like playing. It's like playing Mario 64 with a D-pad. It was not fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's what using the original PS1 controller was like on any 3D game. It was kind of bad.
Yeah, yes, I'm gonna agree with Pete on that because that was my heavy Sony era, 1 and 2. So Sony PlayStation 1 and 2, which was just PlayStation 2. And the original controller on the PlayStation, it wasn't that the controller wasn't great, it was just that
not good for 3D.
It wasn't good for 3D, and they really wanted those tank controls. Like that was such a big deal back then. I don't know why.
But I honestly, I will
because
say
you didn't have the whole dual stick control scheme yet.
That's true.
That's
true.
Because obviously even the N64 didn't have a dual stick configuration.
No, they didn't. They had the C
that was
control.
essentially a new age where the whole new control scheme for shooters and such was pretty much a revolution at the time.
But I think controller viability though, as far as like those controllers, I think that's a lot of that is very contextual. Like the PlayStation controller never really presented me any issues because the only games I played on it were Final Fantasy games and like Legend of Mana.
Exactly.
Like
it would be perfect for those.
Yeah, like
that's the two I mainly play.
Yeah, if all you're playing is like JRPGs or like Symphony of the Night, the controller itself is pretty much perfect.
Yeah,
exactly. Like I was playing Abe's Odyssey, and it was perfect for Abe's Odyssey. But then I switched and I got Parasite Eve, and I could not get it down. The different it was because it was such a 3D game, and you had 3D axis and everything. I just kept. I would go back. I would go on the screen and then come off and go back to the. And it's like, why? Because I couldn't get it. For people who don't know, Parasite Eve is a Resident Evil type. It's the same team. So if you know Resident Evil and their camera, it's the same thing as Parasite Eve.
Yeah. So the big difference for me, obviously, at that time was that I was playing 3D platformers and racing games. So trying to play a racing game like Gran Turismo with a D-pad was not exactly fun. Croc Legend of the Gobos was not a fun 3D platforming game with a D-pad control. No fun.
Gex, Crash Bandicoot was difficult. Even let's be honest, it was.
Excuse me, I will not have anyone talking about Crash unless you're referring to it by its proper name, and that is the Sonic Ass game.
Oh goodness, yes, as it was privately known. But Tomb Raider was difficult. Don't forget that. Like I love Tomb Raider, but to try and catch the edge,
oh god,
to climb, or even to swim, the controls were terrible for that.
That animation of her like sort of changing like rounds like slowly is etched into my memory.
Yes. And then what's the one? I love that game, and I've just now totally forgot it. You would you didn't have a bottom half of your face, and then you'd kill things and you'd suck up their souls.
Soul Reaver.
Soul Reaver. That's it.
Legend of Kain.
Yes, Legend of Kain. Wonderful game, by the way. Go play it. But the controls were the same as Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Whereas, you just couldn't quite, if you couldn't catch the ledge, That type of thing.
Ah.
Yes, exactly. But God, it was such a fun game.
I
That was such
don't-
a fun time.
I'm gonna keep it real though about Tomb Raider, about the old school Tomb Raider games.
Yeah.
I don't think it mattered what controller you play the bitches
Oh,
on.
God.
That game still was a rough fucking play.
It was. It was. Like it was.
I mean, it was pretty much one of the first 3D
3D
platformer
platformer.
action adventure game
adventures.
at the time. So yeah,
100%.
That
Yeah, it
T-Rex
was a
can
rough-
still go
it was-
fucking
never
safe.
was gonna be perfect.
Yeah, it was a rough fucking.
But I think it was a pretty good first start.
They got
Yeah.
slightly better with the second game. I think they improved it
Mhm.
a bit more with the third. So it was just a learning experience for them more than
Mhm.
anything. And it doesn't really help that they were pumping those games out every couple of years.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
really were too, weren't they?
They were. Yeah,
Yeah, you can blame IDOS for that one.
Oh my goodness. That was its heyday, man. God, I used to buy games like all the time back then. I don't buy as many games now as I did when I was like 13.
Mhm.
Crazy.
But yeah, so like I will say though, as far as honorable mentions go for controllers that aren't good or bad, but are just inoffensive to my senses. As far and they're inoffensive. It's inoffensive. It doesn't offend me. All right, I can use it. I don't hate it. It's not something I would ever want to use anywhere else. But you know, it's all right.
Sure.
Dreamcast controller. It's all right. It's inoffensive to my.
It's a fine controller.
I liked it.
It's inoffensive. It doesn't offend my senses.
It tried to do too much though. Because I had a Dreamcast and I only had like 2 games. I had Nights into Dreams, which I loved. And then I had Seaman.
Ah.
Oh God, not this
Seaman.
again.
I always
Not this
bring up
again.
Seaman.
Let's not bring this up from episode 51 again.
God, how do you remember that, Pete?
I have these.
Yes.
I have these.
I loved
Very
the
good.
Dreamcast was great. But I will say that the controller tried to be
Nice.
Oh goodness.
Keep going.
Yes.
Keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, just
I'm
keep
trying
going.
not yet tried. Rezzo's got like all the
The thing is, you've done the whole.
I really love the
I've got shiny
Dreamcast.
things, so therefore I'm like you're gonna distract Kylie.
I
halfway
actually
through a
very
sentence.
much enjoyed the Dreamcast very much. For people who don't know, even though I've told the story a million times, I got it used at a pawn shop, which over here in the
Nice.
UK that would be the same as cash converters.
It'll make some
Oh,
crazy
I had
money.
Crazy Taxi too. Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
had that too on the Dreamcast. Oh, okay. So now I'm changing my mind. It was a good controller.
No, I still think it's an okay controller. I think
Yeah,
the only
it's
reason it's
okay.
really remembered because of the VMU.
But no, that's the thing. It did try to do a lot of things because with Seaman, you could attach the microphone, and then of course you had the little like you could put the memory card in, but it was also a playable game as
Yeah,
well.
that's what I mean. The VMU.
Yeah. And so I think it was very ambitious. I don't know why the Dreamcast didn't do. Look, I love the Dreamcast, and I think it should have done so much better. Than
The
it did.
Dreamcast should have done more, but obviously having you know,
Oh my god!
It was just too
having
late, and
Sega, having Sega being weird and releasing a console for it to fail to then come out with a new console a couple of years later was not a good idea. It's kind of sunk them.
I have another one. I don't want to show it though because I don't have the one that comes before it because it got lost in the mail, so I never actually got it. So it upsets me.
Do it. Do it.
I gotta know, Renzo, because
Do
I
it.
love the
All right,
Dreamcast.
all right. It's
Show me.
all right. It's a
It's
guilty
fine here.
pleasure, but it's
It's
evolution.
fine.
It's evolution.
Oh, nice. Yes, I like Evolution.
Yeah.
Oh my
I had
gosh.
I ordered the first one, but it got lost in the mail and I never got it. And a guy on eBay refused to refund me because he said he claimed I was lying and I had actually gotten it in the mail.
I hate that. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I had the similar thing happen to me with.
He's like how do I know? He's like, how do I know you didn't get it in the mail? I'm like, I didn't. Elsewise, we wouldn't be having
this conversation.
Yeah, I wouldn't be wasting my fucking time talking to you, dickhead.
I'd be playing it. Do y'all remember? Was it Critters? I think.
Yeah,
Where you
so-
could be like this little like furry guy, and you could evolute him. Evolution. You could turn him into things and stuff like that.
Shit.
That was really cool on there. And then, see, I really liked a lot of the boring science games. You can tell.
See, honestly though, if I'm 100% real, I don't have many like Dreamcast games, and the only Dreamcast game I probably spend the most time on, if I do have my Dreamcast still hooked up, whenever I do have it hooked up, is still Phantasy Star Online. I dropped.
Oh God. Yeah, I didn't have the Dreamcast version, but I played the absolutely living hell out of the GameCube version.
GameCube. Look, I'm not gonna slag off the GameCube version, which I am because I don't like the GameCube. It didn't even have it was so much better on the Dreamcast. It really was. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know.
This game, guys.
Yeah, that game.
Oh my gosh.
Is that still? Oh, that's still on my GameCube. I opened the box and the CD wasn't there. I'm like, oh shit, where's my disc?
Okay, here's a lesson for the youngins. Even because I'm apparently 50 or whatever.
44.
I still haven't. I just that is really on my mind. Somebody just miskeyed my DOB, but
I wish I hadn't told you that. Now that's hilarious.
No, I'm glad to know that because I need to go correct it. But it's like I can't stop thinking about it. But there was a thing when all of us were youngins called Wares, WAREZ. Wares was yeah, and you could get it on the IRC or you could go to Wares channels and you could download games. I'm not saying you sell the 7 Cs, but you could sell the 7 Cs and you could get games. Phantasy Star Online and Halo and Lemmings for some reason were like
don't you dare ever diss Lemmings.
Oh no, I love Lemmings. I don't know why it was always in the Wares files. And Rainbow Six.
Look, you do know that the Lemmings was basically created for one console and then ported to thousands.
Was it really? What was
it?
It was the Amiga.
It was created. They made like one version and then they just ported that bitch.
It was amazing. What was it? What was it originally?
I think it was an Amiga game.
Oh, okay. I love Lemmings because I'm autistic and
it was the Amiga.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I didn't actually know that all those versions were ports. I played pretty much nearly all of them.
I didn't know either. Yeah, I loved Lemmings because I played on SNES even.
The one that
I played it on the Game Gear.
Yeah, the one that I remember the most was the PS1, the Lemmings and Oh No More Lemmings.
Oh my gosh, that's like Worms. Worms is on everything.
Yeah, that bitch got ported to everything too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show a picture of what I think is one of the worst controllers, and it's a real one, not that weird battering one. So what do you guys?
I mean, that was a real controller at the time. Oh, the Ouya.
Oh
boy.
See, what's crazy about the Ouya is that it's such a basic bitch controller as far as like what it is, so it's really kind of surprising they fucked it up so badly.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's like uncomfortable in your hands.
Like honestly, if you have a template that's like an award-winning controller template, which is rip off the Xbox controller, but not really.
Yep.
Like the fact that they still somehow managed to mess it up is really kind of impressive.
There's a look, okay, I was joking about it being Rap Reviews After Dark. Just go with it. There's a reason why this is so much.
Oh my.
So much easier to grip. Because of the shape. It is though. It is. All kidding aside, this is a much Oh my gosh.
But you have Xeno Warrior Princess hands over here.
I would rather grip this shape.
Miss Hercules hands over here.
The only person in all of history who never had a problem with the Duke controller.
Oh.
That one.
Ooh, spicy.
Somebody pull up a picture. I need to see that.
Oh, you can't remember the original Duke? Jesus.
I don't. But all kidding aside, yes, I do enjoy this shape for my own reasons. This is much more comfortable than a squared off version, which I still don't understand what their thinking was on that, because it not only is it not a good grip, But when anyone plays, your hands sweat. Now that's why the Xbox controller has texture on it, and it's gross, and you have to clean it. Or I do because I'm obsessive about it. Yeah, exactly. I love that they do that now.
Honestly, looking at the Duke now.
Oh gosh, he's put it in the Discord.
I am honestly.
I can't.
Oh yeah, you can't open it.
I'll look at it through here. Okay.
Cool.
Looking at the Duke now, I'm honestly surprised anybody actually used that thing.
Yeah, I'm surprised by it too.
Let's see what these boys are on about. Oh, if it's even gonna load.
It's a chunker. Let's just say that. It's a big boy.
That thing didn't last very long until they replaced it with like the
yeah, it was the S controller.
Yeah.
You mean the original Xbox? Is that what you're talking about?
That's the original. Yeah, that's it just got known as the Duke.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was what it was called. Yeah, for
who thought black and white buttons were a good idea?
That was where I first played Halo, and I was not good. It was bad. I switched to PC very shortly after that. I didn't play Xbox, the original Xbox, very much. Yeah, Nana says, God, the Xbox Duke was huge.
Yeah. Oh my God, Hyperkid of actually making a new version of the Duke controller. That is ridiculous.
Yep.
Even my giant meat puppets would not be able to. I don't think.
We've got another potential episode titled.
Your Xenia Warrior Princess Giant Hands.
Brachiosaurus. No, that was not a great controller. I know I've got one around here. It's probably behind me, but I'm a little bit...
I have an S controller for my original Xbox. It's decent. It's a much better, more tighter controller, but I still don't think the original Xbox controller is that good.
It's not
really comfortable.
It's like Rezo said, I'm 100%, 110% behind Rezo, which is the Xbox 360 controller just set the standard. It changed everything. I mean, and everything's tried to copy it since then. So,
I mean, because if you think about it, I mean, I guess technically, if you wanted to be like really pedantic, and I mean like really pedantic, like hella pedantic, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you really wanted to like waggle the fucking finger about this, you know, you could say that in some weird technical way, the Xbox controller basically just copied the DualShock by having dual sticks. You could do that. I wouldn't do it.
No.
If you wanted to be hella pedantic, you could say one ripped off the other. I don't really think that way.
I mean,
okay.
I think it was a natural evolution. How about that? A natural evolution.
No. What it reminds me of is copy the homework, but make sure it's not exactly the same.
Pete is doing rapid reviews after dark.
I'm waggling my stick.
Yeah, I kind of wonder, though, like, I kind of wonder what the design philosophy was, because Sony always kept the sticks parallel, whereas Xbox always had them offset. I kind of wonder what the actual, like, philosophy was there.
To be fair,
doing so.
Switching
avoiding getting sued for patent infringement.
Okay, probably that.
Yes.
But partially.
I mean, if you see what Sony are like nowadays with throwing around lawsuits.
I know. But see, I went from Sony PlayStation 2 to Xbox 360. I had a PlayStation 3, but I didn't buy that till after the 360. I bought it again used at a pawn shop. Who knows? Switching from the analog sticks being equal to not equal was actually a little bit of a learning curve for me, especially on FPSs. Like Crysis. I believe I was playing Crysis on the 360. And I just couldn't quite. It took a while. There was a learning curve. I mean, I eventually got it and it was fine. But I think, what was it? Crysis 3 that was on the 360? I can't remember. It's a good game. Go play it.
Crysis 2, I believe. Was
it Crysis 2? It was really cool. It wasn't Halo because my Halo was my true love. And then I was like, oh, I'll try something else.
You see, I don't. My experience with Halo were on the 360. My experience with Halo is weird because, like, I played the first Halo on PC, and then I played it mainly on PC. Really dumb, and I mean like really dumb, like
Uh-oh.
really really dumb, and like I really dumb, and like I made that
Emphasis
jump.
on really.
I made
It's
that
really
jump.
dumb.
I made that jump to Vista just to play Halo 2.
Oh god. Well, that was your
Yeah.
first mistake.
Yeah. No, what might not
Really
have.
smegging dumb.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Hey
Oh.
man, hindsight is usually 2020.
You know
It
what?
is.
That's the
Look,
truth.
Admittedly, I bought a
terrible
laptop
operating
near the
system.
time when Vista was due to come out, and
Oh.
it gave me a free upgrade to it, and even I went, no.
Oh my gosh. I was able to keep XP for. I was one of those people that was like the last holdouts until, what was
Yeah.
it, 10 years later when they were like, we're not updating this anymore.
Yeah.
I held out as long as I could. I love XP to this day. In fact,
XP's
one of my
great.
work computers has it.
I switched when they brought out 7.
Yeah.
Really? I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't quite switch. I think I got forced upgraded to 10. And
Yeah, I remember that. I was halfway through a bloody show.
Yep. I'm forced upgraded right now.
Ooh.
That was
I'm one
fun.
of those people. I live in the past, man.
Okay. Anyway, can I raise a controversial point?
Okay.
Oh
Close it,
no.
Max.
Especially about a controller.
Oh, no.
This is the
Uh-huh.
best
The DualSense.
PlayStation controller
That is the,
since
yep.
the PS2.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, 100%. I actually agree with you there. Even though I love the PS2 controller.
Ah, God. I
The
mean,
PS3 controller feels like it's going to snap in your hands. And the
I
PS4
like the
controller,
lighter.
it's not bad.
Yeah, like okay. Here's my take. Right. I like the PS3 controller because it's light.
Upstairs.
I like the
have it.
lighter feel of the controller in my hands.
Yep.
Right. So I understand the it might break in my hands at any moment. I get that, but I really appreciate the controller for just being lighter.
Yeah.
Also, the PS4 controller is Bluetooth, and I can connect it to my iPad and play Xbox games.
But
that's why it's upstairs.
I don't.
That's why it's a good controller.
Yeah, I do use it for that reason.
I will say,
Mm-hmm.
I begrudgingly have to agree with Pete as much as I don't. As much as I don't want to.
Rezo, me and you tend to agree on quite a few things. You might as well just accept the fact that me and you are similar.
Oh dear.
I've never used either the controllers of the PS1 or 2. I've experienced the 3, which I liked for a long time. The 4 I like as well, although they did a misstep with the battery life.
Yeah,
didn't like that.
That's the
3 is quite nice in terms of that.
Yeah. Now the biggest downside to the DualSense is its incredibly poor battery life. It's the same problem as the PS4 one was.
Yeah, and they managed to make that even worse with the professional DualSense Edge.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, the £200 controller that has worse battery life than even your main controller.
Which while this one here is also quite costly, it actually has a fucking good battery life. Officially around 40 hours.
Double A batteries rather than a proprietary battery.
No, this one has a proprietary battery in it.
All right.
This is the Elite 2.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Which I only use it connected with the wire, but the official runtime is around 40 hours, which would be around the Pro controller for the Switch, I think. Or was that one even more? Or was that even higher? I'm not sure.
I think the Pro controller for the Switch is about 40 to 50 hours.
I rarely ever have to charge that fucking thing.
Yeah,
I very rarely ever. And understand most of the playthroughs on my channel, at least half at any given point are on Switch. So like half of the games I do at any point are on Switch. And I will tell you, I have very rarely ever found myself in a position in the middle of a video where my battery dies on Switch. I don't think it has.
Yeah.
Like, that's very good.
That makes sense.
Like it's I think that kind of speaks for itself. I will say the one thing I do like about the DualSense is that one, It does feel really good in the hand. I think it feels
Yes.
it feels amazing in the hand. Like,
No, I
does,
agree
yeah.
with that. I do.
Just in general, like it's just
Yeah,
because I didn't like. Oh, sorry.
Go on. So I was going to say the textured grips on the back, like
See,
they
I think
feel
that's so
really
important.
nice on the back of there. It's the same with the Series X series controllers now that they've got them. In
I
the
think
back.
that is so important.
I really like that.
Because like as much as I didn't mind the PS4 controller, I would never want to go back after having a dual.
I'm glad.
Heard
Yeah,
that a lot.
I'm glad you said that because that's why I came to the point that I did. I was like, okay, the PS4 controller is good, but I don't want to use it again. The PS3 controller, I'm not exactly a fan of because it feels like it's going to break. So, by process of elimination, I love the PS2 controller more than anything, which is why.
There's two we've left out.
We've left out plenty because.
Well, but there's two main ones.
Okay.
Which Pete and I think have had experience with. Although Pete might have more experience with. I don't know. The Wii U controller.
Glad you mentioned it.
Yes.
Because one of them's good, one of them's bad.
Yes, I agree. The Wii U, guys, I know I've said this on the show many times, but I still stand by it. Yes, the Wii U had slow loading times, but the Wii U was the precursor to the Switch. It just was. It was a good console. It was slow. Slow loading.
It was a really interesting concept.
It was. Yes. I really liked it. And Lego, I really enjoyed Lego on that.
I'm gonna be that guy and say that you are slagging the Wii U for completely the wrong reason. It being slow was not the thing that made the Wii U the problem.
It needed more games.
It was dead on arrival when it had the shittest name in the world.
Well, the Wii U was a terrible name, yeah.
Yeah, no,
believe
me, its load times were the last problem it had. That was
really?
like.
What do you think, Rezzo? What was it? Because the load times were terrible.
They weren't great.
You know, I'll tell you the truth. I owned one. I don't really. The load times were never a thing that made that.
Really?
No, it's not the load times that made me want to never use the damn thing. Well, it was a few different things. It's not even like it's not excuse me. No, it's not awful.
It has a bunch of indie games on there.
It's not awful games, but there's the problem is, and this is important, is that context is important when you're talking to me though, because if you know the kind of games I enjoy, then suddenly that context starts to make a lot more sense as far as why the Wii U probably wasn't really scratching the itch I had.
I can see that now. You're right. That's true. Yeah,
context is very important.
Not many JRPGs. There was a lot of indie games on there.
Yeah,
I mean, because barely anyone else wanted to make games for it.
It's because it's the only developers who actually had enough money to get a dev kit, probably.
Even Nintendo didn't want to make that many for it.
No.
But I still maintain there's a Lego game on there. I forget what the
Lego City Undercover.
That's it. But it's Lego City. It's funny. It's well acted. It's fun to play. But I do love Lego games.
On the Switch.
Get it on Steam or Switch.
Yeah, do that. Don't play it on.
I mean, on Steam, it's been available for a long time. Is it on Switch?
It has been. It's on Switch. They released it as an upgrade.
If you love Lego games, it's fun. I love Lego.
It's essentially Lego GTA.
Lego GTA. I was about to say,
It's so they're so funny.
Okay. Right. Anyway, let's talk about it because you raised the Wii U. Let's talk about the Wii U because I think the gamepad kind of sucks.
I mean, I think it was a good.
I liked it well enough.
Yeah,
I never used it. I never.
Yeah, the problem was for me is that it took a while to actually feel comfortable. When you got there, it was fine. Like it just wasn't comfortable straight out of the box like a PlayStation 2 controller.
I'm gonna sound hypocritical, but
go on.
I'm gonna sound hypocritical as fuck. I just think the Wii U pad was just too fucking big.
It was big.
That's sort of along the lines of what I'm going with. That's why it wasn't as comfortable.
Because you're going from the Wii, which was very streamlined, and of course, like I said, you had a lot of add-ons that you could have done, like the tennis and the golf and the blah blah blah.
Yeah. Imagine doing that with a pad.
Exactly. So then you switch to this like giant pad. Yeah. It was almost like
bowling.
It was almost like the 3D
tennis.
It would work for tennis, actually.
More like
and then it goes
tennis.
flying, and
Exactly.
it's actually absolutely crumbles your TV.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to raise this though.
Mm-hmm.
The Wii U Pro controller. Oh yeah, very good controller.
No, you in the wrong. You in the wrong. No, you straight. No, you straight cap.
What was?
You straight cap. Straight up
Tell
cap.
me the difference. What's the difference between the Wii U?
There's not much difference between the Wii U gamepad and the Switch Pro controller. To be honest.
I could tell you. I could tell you what's wrong with the Wii U Pro controller and why.
I'm guessing it's the analog stick placements.
No, that's not. Okay. That's not even that for me. No, the whole fucking controller is glossy, and that shit feels gross.
I didn't find that. I could see why, but I never found that to be a problem for me.
Yeah, no, you cap.
I had the black version of it. It was much better.
Yeah, you straight on. You straight on.
Especially on like Smash or whatever. What was it that's on Wii U?
Yeah, I think
Smash was on there. I was just using the GameCube controller at that point.
We had this conversation. Like the only.
No, in terms of, like, I was saying, okay, so in terms of its comfort level, I can agree to disagree on the glossy side of things. Okay, that might not be to everyone's taste. The battery life and its general comfort levels were there. Like, Jesus Christ, how many times I had so many game sessions, and just you wouldn't have to charge the Wii U Pro controller ever. And when you did, it was such a quick charger. It's so ridiculous.
It was very surprising for as chunky as it was what it contained. You know, it was basically a 3DS, but as a controller. Which
it was crazy.
It was very crazy. I'm still stunned. Really, I think what broke the Wii U was it just didn't have any games. It just didn't have any big games.
Third party stopped supporting it after
a lot of
third party stopped supporting it at launch. What are you talking about?
I know. I was trying to be generous with that one,
Bro, listen. I worked at GameStop when this motherfucker came out.
Oh, no way!
Yeah, no. Third party support for this fucking platform was done the second this thing came out.
You had a few games at launch, then it failed, and then they absolutely stopped.
I mean, the one game that actually became a success that was a third party then got ported to the PlayStation 4 under a slightly different name.
Zombie Which one was that?
Yeah, so like
Zombie U.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Like you couldn't.
That system was the one with the least games for me as well.
Yeah.
I mainly played one on it.
The Wii U was not.
Yeah, I played one.
The thing is, like, the Wii was just a hard sell. If you worked in a game store and you're trying to, like, move those fucking things, it's a really hard sell because you only really had, like, 4 games that you could really pitch to the consumer as being like, yeah, these are titles you have to play, which was, like, Mario Kart, Smash, Mario, and then Wind Waker HD. That was about it.
Essentially,
Like those were the only games you really had that were solid pitches that you could really
to the layman, and then you had the Weeb audience with it was Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, Fire Emblem. That's the one
which
I couldn't remember.
Which no one bought.
Nobody bought
it. And then no one bought it again on Switch.
Yes.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
I bet Rezo owned a copy of the Wii U and the Switch.
But it was weird though to come out after.
Funnily enough, for me, the game was none of those mentioned.
Oh gosh, what was it?
Mine was the one which I used exclusively the tablet for.
Uh-huh.
Batman Armored Edition?
Nope.
I'm curious. I gotta know.
Xenoblade
Chronicles?
X.
Yeah.
Oh, right, of
fair
course.
enough.
I mean, that's a reasonable
Yeah.
reason to get one, to be fair.
I play Lego and then CD
Mhm.
like Xenoblade, so that tells you.
But yeah.
Oh my gosh,
As
yeah.
someone who worked in a game store, like trying to sell a Wii U, trying to sell a Wii U was as hard as trying to sell an Xbox One at the same time the PS4 was coming out.
Oh my god.
That was that was such a hard sell because Xbox was $100 more, and I remember my boss on
my gosh.
my boss, I think it was Christmas or Black Friday, was like, "All right, fellas, listen up. He's like, if a customer asks for a PS4, you sell them an Xbox. If a customer comes in trying to get directions, you sell them an Xbox. It's like, I don't care what you have to do. I want every customer in this store to walk out with an Xbox."
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
outside of stealing their credit card and bringing up a purchase for them.
I have another apt comparison.
Okay.
It's about as difficult as selling the always online version of the Xbox in bumfuck nowhere.
Oh my gosh.
Hey man.
Yeah, but remember, Xbox had a solution for that. It was called the 360.
Yeah, that was their solution.
Right.
Oh, you don't have constant internet connection? Well, we have a product for you. It's called the 360. Shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down.
That's why Don Matrick didn't last. Thanks, Don.
Oh my gosh, that was such a bad time. That was such a terrible. I will say this though. That's the first time when the Xbone came out. I bought an Xbone and a Sony PlayStation. I bought them both. I've never done that before. Now I went home and I played Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Xbone, and I never touched it. It's still sitting here.
I was going to say, one of them was a regularly used console. The other one became a paperweight and an excuse to raise an argument about painting an office.
It's true. It's literally sitting here. I've played twice. But that's the next thing I want to bring up, which is...
Became a water cooler.
Yes. PlayStation Move.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a PSVR as well.
What about it?
Yep.
It's terrible. Okay, here's my complaint about it. Okay, first, I always want to preface it by saying I have wonky eyes. I can't do 3D, apparently. I apparently have terrible depth perception, which is why I hit curbs all the time. So I can maybe last about 5 to 8 minutes in 3D, maybe. And that's on a good day. But I didn't know this, so I bought a PSVR.
Oof.
Yeah. Didn't know. Had no idea. I was like, cool. I'll do virtual reality.
You should have just bought a 3DS.
Yeah, you would. I could. See, I couldn't play 3DS. That should have been my first idea.
That's why I didn't buy a PSVR.
I turned it all off.
Screw with me.
Yeah, 3DS, I had to turn it off. I had to do the little switch. I could never do it. Anyway, because it's just really bad. But the PS Move, which for our audience who doesn't know, they're literally sticks with balls on them. But they
next on Rapid Reviews After Dark.
Dark.
Oh
my.
That button's getting a good use.
It really is.
That's
phrasing. But the crazy thing about the Move controllers is that design is really old. I think it's about 10 years old now.
Well, it was kind of based on the original iToy controllers, weren't they?
It was, yes. And even now, to this day, now I don't know what the PSVR 2 uses because obviously I'm gonna get that.
It has new controllers.
Yeah, they've got
completely new sets. They're pretty similar to what the other VR headsets have.
Oh,
they are, but essentially it kind of feels like a split PS5 pad, just without the touch bar in it, or touch bar on it.
Sadly, I will not be buying that because it literally is pointless for me.
And it's also 500 quid.
No,
Yeah.
okay, hold on.
And requires a PS5 to use one.
But
here's the thing. I brought this up on my on our Discord on two separate chats because I was I think Engadget did a review of the PSVR 2, right? And
yes, they did.
And I posted the TLDR because that was the most interesting part to me because some
Yep.
Well, no, it's not like it's not like I didn't read it, but the TLDR just kind of summed up what I wanted to say faster than me just fucking saying it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. Like VR is already like a niche fucking product, right?
It is.
Like
yeah.
you talk about something that's like for a very specific audience, right? Very specific. VR is a very specific audience. Right?
Yeah.
And when you start grazing at like that $500, $600 price point to get into VR, you're pretty much putting the consumer in two particular positions. It's like, one, I can buy a PSVR 2, right? And it only works with PS5. And the support for it is only for as long as devs and Sony decide that they want to continue pushing out software. Or I could invest $1,000 into an index and I have basically all the software and all the things I could ever want. Now, I know what you're thinking. $500 more, that's a lot of money. But my question is it though?
Yeah, exactly. If you're investing long term.
No, hear me out. If you are already in on a PS5, that's $500. And then you are already willing to make the mental gymnastic leap to buy a PSVR 2 because, I don't know, bending over backwards and burning your money sounds like a great idea. So now you're in well over $1,000. At that point, once you've done it, once you're there, an index isn't really that big of a logical mental leap.
Depends on what your current PC has in terms of hardware.
Yeah, thank you, CD. That was the point I was going to raise. Is that you might be invested with the PS5 already, and then spend another $500 on it. But if you haven't got a PC set up for VR already, then you might have to spend about £1,500 or $1,500
and if you're
already just to get into VR.
Yeah, but if you're already invested like that, if you're already 1,500 deep, what's another 500?
Yeah, of course. I think at that point, but that's what I mean. It's like if you are,
that is the question.
Yeah, if you are. Whereas, like, yeah, I've got a PS5. Kylie has not. But if she wanted to go and play PSVR 2, she'd have to shell out for both the PlayStation and the headset at nearly £1,000 or just under, probably. And that's a sizable investment. And but I agree. If you've got the PC set up, you might as well go for the index.
Yep. I have to agree. I mean, it's hard for me to give an opinion because I can't use it. But if it were me, I would go for the PC version.
And here's the thing,
because that also gives you a better library in terms of games.
Yes,
because they made the pretty bad decision of not having backwards compatibility with the PSVR 2.
Yes, like how there's already very few games on the PSVR. Why would you not make it backwards compatible? That just that's very strange. It's very strange. Yeah,
because and the thing is, every time I bring this up, I'm usually hit with the argument of, but the technology inside the headset is really good, and you're essentially complaining about getting better technology. That's not the complaint.
No.
The complaint isn't inherently that the technology isn't good. Look, the PSVR 2 is a fantastic piece of engineering, given the fact that it has dual OLED screens inside of the headset,
with 120 frames on each eye as well, or 90 to 120. It's crazy.
I'm more than willing to give the benefit here and say that the technology in this thing is probably worth more than what they're selling it for. If you're going to be 100% honest, I'm pretty sure you could probably justify it somehow.
I'd say they're probably not making that much per headset.
If anything at all.
No, they probably are making a bit, but not much.
Yeah.
I guess it would depend on whether or not Sony are using proprietary technology in it, whether or not the screens themselves that go into the PSVR 2 are made by them.
Now here's the caveat. Here's why I'm not willing to 100% commit to disliking Sony on this. All Sony has to do is enable the PSVR 2 to be usable with PC. And if they do that, because it's all USB, it's a USB, it plugs in via USB. So if they were to enable it in any way, shape, or form to even be usable on to be usable on PC, gotta keep it real with you, that might.
That's a better option, to be honest, because it falls just over the point of the Quest 2, doesn't it, in terms of price, but under the index. So it's like a mid-range sort of VR headset.
That's the thing, though, that the context changes once it's usable on PC, because it goes from being this thing costs as much as a console to being this thing is half the price of an index, and when you have that context, suddenly. Well, now it's a little different, right? Not the same.
Yeah,
the context is different. I
agree. I just don't understand why they've just solely locked it just for PlayStation. They should have enabled it for PC.
I mean, I would be remiss if it wasn't enabled at some point.
I think it will be, especially a couple of years down the line.
Because I don't see the value in not, because like you said, once the context of it being usable on PC, it goes from being this thing costs as much as the
it's obvious.
Yeah,
for Sony, it's obvious an advantage to keep it to their system.
Yeah,
of course it is.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't necessarily think that this thing being as much as it is, especially for such a niche product on a console, like my whole issue has just been, one, the software library has to be there to justify it.
And most of those are ports from other systems.
Yeah,
obviously, because you can't justify making a VR game exclusively for one system if you're not either first party or second party to that system.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that one.
Yeah, no, it's not financially feasible.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But how many games that are obviously have been available on Quest that are now launch games is a bit mad. It is a bit mad. And then you sort of pepper in the whole, none of your games that work on PlayStation VR are going to work. I think that's a little bit of a slap in the face, to be honest.
Is it? I wonder. Is that just a matter of because the headset itself. I'm not the smartest in this department. The headset itself is an enclosed system, right? So it's doing the processing and all that stuff for VR itself versus the console, right? Is the console contributing? Because
I think the console is doing
the console is doing that. The PSVR 2 and the PSVR 1 are just the displays, essentially. It doesn't have any specific hardware in it.
No, it's the controller layouts, I think, that were causing the problem for it, wasn't it? In terms of porting.
Okay, maybe, because I was like, well, is this thing doing something different for it to justify?
Yeah, but there is PSVR games that are being released.
There is
PSVR 2 that have been up-res or been ported essentially.
There is one significant difference between the PSVR 1 and 2 that probably is one of the reasons. One had external camera, this one has internal ones.
Okay.
But yeah,
first one used the PlayStation camera for stuff.
But yeah, you talk about a niche product on a console that has only recently been made reasonably available for the average person if they actually want one in the last 6 months to 8 months, reasonably speaking.
Yeah.
And then pile that up on top of a price point that puts this thing either at or a little bit more pricey than the console itself. I mean, and then divide that by the amount of money that games are going to start costing as time goes on, with games slowly making the move towards 70. And then you get to a point to where it's just like, if the audience for PSVR was already niche, PSVR...
it's bigger than you would think.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this on the show. It was a bigger percentage than I would have thought.
Yeah. End of 2019, the PSVR had reached 5 million in sales.
I knew it was around about that figure. I couldn't remember whether it was 3 or 5. It's still decent.
Yeah, that's still quite a fucking few.
Yeah, for a
VR unit, that's not bad.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But yeah, like the tech isn't the problem. The tech is the last thing this thing's fucking worried about.
No, I think the price is the biggest problem for this.
Yeah, but
like you said, you change the context of it, it's a very different argument.
Yeah, because I have friends who dropped $1,000 on Index, and to me personally, $1,000 on a VR setup just out the box is already like.
Yeah, that's the really enthusiast people.
I see. You say enthusiasts, but a lot of these people are just getting into VR that are dropping that money, though. These aren't people who.
Yeah, very enthusiastically.
Yeah.
Those Half-Life fans who've been eating crumbs for a fair while.
So yeah, that's my take. Like. I will be very surprised to see how this thing does in the long run.
Me too.
Let alone like what kind of software it gets. Because if it can get like really, really good software, or just, I don't know, something more appealing than indie. And I don't like to slag indie when it comes to some of this shit. But you can't deny that like indie games can't inherently sell a console.
No, you need to have some of your first-party titles to be able to prop it out.
Live like second.
Yeah, they're bringing out that Horizon title.
Yeah, so it's cool.
Right. So the show's going long, but I have one more controller I think I want to leverage towards you guys.
Oh goodness!
One of the ones that I think is probably one of the greatest that have ever been created. It's been used for many, many years. Has barely had an update. Outside of a few extra buttons, maybe. It's got a presence in both the home consoles and elsewhere. And it's still used today. Even though one particular side of the market doesn't particularly exist very much. The arcade stick.
The fight stick. Yes, of course.
Well, I meant the arcade board controller, or the the arcade stick housing in general.
Yeah. No, it's.
You cannot argue with its level of comfort and its design itself. It is beautiful. It's not a very accessible controller to some.
No, because. Like, okay.
It's really specialized.
Yeah, I would say so.
Here's the thing, man. I have an arcade stick, right? I went from being a pad player in fighting games to going to stick.
Yeah, me too.
Anybody who's made that transition will tell you that there is an 85 to 95% likelihood that making that transition will make you butt cheeks at the game for at least the first couple of weeks.
I mean, I'm still butt cheeks at most fighting games, so it's been over 10 years at this point.
You will be absolute butt cheeks at the video game making that transition. I would not wish, because I have a stick that has Sanwa parts in it.
Yes. Yeah. Is it a Mad Catz one, or is it a Razer?
It's neither. It's actually neither.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, it's neither. I have it right here because I have to keep it nearby just in case somebody decides to talk shit to me in Discord about Guilty Gear, and I gotta come out here and put some shit down.
Oh yeah, I know exactly which one. It's Mayflash, I think, is it?
Yeah,
Or
Mayflash.
something similar along those lines.
Yeah,
They're very good sticks, actually.
Yeah. Best $60 I've spent on a stick.
A very, very reasonable amount. I saw a Mayflash for PS3 in my local CEX, and I was considering buying it. Didn't realize the stick that I bought has a PS3, PS4, PS5, and PC function.
Because it's crazy, because like sticks have now become like it used to be back in like the mid-aughts, like a fight stick. The only option you had were like the really, really expensive Mad Catz edition ones that came out for certain titles, and those are like $200, right?
So when I first got into arcade stick purchasing, like they had two different models. So they had the Mad Catz TE, which was about £170, so about $200. But then you had the Mad Catz SE, which was about 70 quid, which would be about $95 to $100 for you guys. And the SE was fucking terrible. I bought one of those, and I had to replace nearly every single part of it because it was so like made out of.
So it was the special edition.
That's why I think it was called the special edition.
Yeah. Nowadays you can get like a good quality stick for like $70, and you're not really out a bunch of money. You know, or you can spend, $100, $200, $300.
280 euros I spent on this damn thing.
Oh,
it's worth it though. It's very good.
Yeah, I was about to say. You probably. I have had like that moment when you roll up, because like there's a card shop near where I live. And they'll have like fighting game Fridays or whatever. So like sometimes, you know, I'll roll up just to see what they're playing, right? Because I'm an asshole, right? And I'll bring my stick. I'll bring my stick with me, just because. And sometimes they're playing like Guilty Gear, so I'm like, well, shit, I gotta put my shit down now. So I'll sit down. I have my Mayflash stick, and this motherfucker sits down next to me with like a hyper super edition fucking Mad Catz extreme stick. And like it's like that guy in the men's shower, and he's like, oh shit. It's like, oh shit. Yeah, see, he got the joke. Yeah, it's like that. It's not a funny
shower.
It's sort of I get your point. Yeah. It's like rolling up to a tournament and the guy next to you is literally using a hitbox, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, dude, if he pulled out a hitbox, I wouldn't even play. I'd be like, yeah, oh, fuck that. Yeah.
I played in a tournament game in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and the guy was using a hitbox. I nearly did stand up and went, all right, I'm done.
Check, please.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I don't need to get my cheeks beat by you to find out I'm trash. I can find it out by myself. I can find that out on my own.
Yeah, I then ended up finding that guy in casuals afterwards, and someone else was using a stick, and Jesus fucking Christ, they were the same. It was like, yeah, I'm not beating you.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, right? Because you could like, the thing about fighting games, you can tell someone's investment based on like what type of stick they have. Like, I know people don't like it when you do that, but like if I roll up somewhere and this dude's rocking like a personally customized, self-made fucking hitbox, bruh, fuck that. I'm not even playing you, dog. Like, that's it. Nah, I'm wrapping my cord up and going home. This is not worth it. I'm not about to get my. No.
I wasn't even wrapping the cord up. I was like, you could have it. Just keep it.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely don't need it, but I'm done.
Yeah, I'm not.
Just sell it if you need to.
I don't even have to get the character select to decide that this is not worth the embarrassment. Like, because like there's like so many ways in fighting games to know you're out of your league.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I go online.
Yeah.
It's not even going online. Like, I used to say, like, MVC2, half of the game was the character select screen.
Oh, fucking hell. If you see any Sentinel, it's like, yeah, you're done.
It's like
Sentinel Storm.
Yeah, Cable, Sentinel Storm. Well, I guess I'm not playing the game.
Well, looks like I'm getting infinite in the corner. Brilliant.
Well, so much for me having a shot. This is gonna be a fun match because I don't play high tiers, so it's like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
I
as
know.
soon as you see, yeah, it's like in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you see a Zero May Cry, that's it. Done.
Yeah, basically, your only real option is. I think the only other way that gets worse is if you're playing like Street Fighter 5 and you see someone. I can't think of a character in Street Fighter 5 where I just want to like instantly.
Urian?
Yeah. It's like Urian or Fong. If someone picks Fong straight faced, dead ass, bruh. Like
leave.
yeah. He's probably like a world champion if he's picking Fong.
He's probably like one of the only 3 people in the world who've ever played him.
Yeah. Alright, because you don't know that matchup. He knows you don't know that matchup. I don't know that fucking matchup. I'm just gonna have to.
You know that matchup, even Capcom devs, because I'm pretty sure they don't either.
Yeah, they don't even
probably
know
why he
that
never
match.
got any buff.
Yeah, they don't know that.
Someone might just as well hand you popcorn because you want to watch that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you picked. Oh shit. Okay. Fuck.
Oh Christ.
The only other analogy I have is like Smash Brothers, where like there's like 3 characters on like Smash Brothers 4. There's 3 characters on that select screen that are like landmines for me. If the opponent picks one of these 3, I'm fucked, and I know I'm
one of them
fucked.
Bayonetta by any chance?
Part time. It's like
Okay.
it depends. It depends on whether or not I think the person's picking it legitimately or just picking it because she's hot. You have to weigh that.
Or because she is incredibly top tier and one of the only characters that got banned in that game.
So I will tell you the character that got me kicked out of top 3 at a tournament because they picked this one landmine, Ness. Dead ass.
Oh fuck.
Dead ass Ness. I was doing so well and my buddy's standing behind me. He's like, dude, you're almost there. I'm like, yeah, dude, I got this. He goes, what's your plan? I'm like, dude, at this point, there are 3 landmines on this character select screen, and I have to hope he doesn't pick any of these 3. He goes, yeah, do you have an answer for them, right? I'm like,
yes.
Define an answer. He's like, a counter pick. I'm like, no. I do
an
not
answer
have...
besides, oh, fuck.
Yeah, the 3 responses: oh fuck, oh shit, and I'm going home.
Yeah, no, he picked Ness. He's the dead ass pick Ness, and my buddy's like, oh shit. I'm like,
oh yeah, the classic PK fire into bat. Yeah, I love it.
And he's like, what's the chances he's good with him? I'm like, dude, he's picking it when we're in like top 5. If he's picking Ness now, dog, he's got to be good with him. You're not picking Ness at the end of a fucking tournament not to be good. That's ridiculous.
And that was before you had 8-way bloody air dodging like you do in Ultimate. So he has to be good.
Yeah, he has to be good. And then what made that tournament almost worth it for me was at the very end, because I got eliminated straight out because that Ness player was fucking insane. Was a fucking nightmare. The guy who actually won the tournament walked up to me after the tournament was over. He goes, man, I was so upset that you lost. I'm like, what? He goes, dude, I wanted that match with you so fucking bad. he's like, I was so upset for you when you lost, dude. He goes, let me guess, that's just not your matchup. I'm like, how'd you guess? He goes, because I fucking hate that character.
Alright, I need to know what's the other 2 though.
I'm not telling you the other 2. I'm taking those with me to the grave. Those.
Okay.
I will tell you it's Ness, and I will tell you Ness/Lucas is definitely one of them.
Yeah. I get that. Ness and Lucas are a pain, especially Lucas. Like being the DLC character in 4 just made him a little bit stupid at times.
Because
it was already bad enough in Brawl.
I have an answer for Ness now, but I've never actually tested it.
Okay.
That's Robin.
Interesting.
Robin is my answer. That is my official counter. I've not been able to test my counter, but I am really good. But Robin is my answer. If I was to go into a tournament and someone picked Ness, I'm picking Robin, like, out the gate. Like, because I can keep your ass out of range. I'm not trying to play Mario against a fucking Ness. Fuck that shit, dude. Fuck.
Nah, combo food straight away.
Well, we've now turned into a Smash podcast.
Sorry, my bad.
And this was my choice, by the way.
Yeah, that was his fault. Don't put this on. Don't put that madness on me.
I'm afraid we do have to wrap it up. We are at that time.
Yeah.
That sad time where we have to.
Well, yeah, Kylie. The whole point was I raised the other controller, and I guess that you thought, well, you heard it was the arcade stick being another great one.
Yeah. Which I do agree, even though I'm not a fighting game person.
I just meant the arcade stick in terms of how it was used in the arcades as well, not just
absolutely. Yeah, God, I miss the arcade. I'm gonna get an arcade cabinet. That's my plan this year. And maybe like put my own like ROMs and stuff in it. But that's a topic for another show. We're gonna wrap this up because holy crap, it is like 9:15 here. I think it's 10:15 where CD is, and who knows what time it is where Rezo is.
4 in the afternoon. So my day.
There you go. Your day.
So we'll talk about this on Smashcast 151.
Yes, exactly. But we're gonna wrap this up.
Because I would actually contact Rezo and say, shit, we need to do a Smash.
Oh my gosh, you guys should do like an extra credit. I'm tired.
No, fuck extra credits.
Yeah, no.
I'm already busy enough. I've got 2 fucking podcasts to do. I don't need a third and a fourth.
You don't put black people and orcs in the same fucking category and not elicit an angry response.
Gosh, so much about that. Anyway,
So much to unpack.
But we thank our guests so much for joining us, and we thank our listeners and our watchers, and you guys are so amazing, and you can choose to spend your time anywhere, and the fact that you spend it with us means the world to us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask our guests to tell us where they can find them and their podcast, which you should join in because it's a lot of fun, obviously. Rezo, where can they find you out there on the internets?
Oh shit, you just asking me to do my end roll?
Yeah.
Asking me to do my fucking end roll now? Shit.
Yep.
Well, you can find us on a variety of different podcasting platforms such as Google, Apple, and Spotify. Turn-based Cynics. We also have a YouTube channel of the exact same name where our podcast is available every Sunday, lest I have to eat a shoe. There's not a lot of calories in that shit. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't have a lot of...
Maybe if it was leather. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. There's not a lot of calories in that shit. But you can find us there. You can also find me on Twitter at Rezabasso, where sometimes I have hot takes. Not good hot takes, but hot takes nonetheless, such as the viability of the Jedi snatching up black kids off the streets. That was definitely one of them. Not my finest moment in humanity. But
funny nonetheless.
I need to see that.
Yeah, it was definitely a fucking moment. But yeah, you can find us there. Our shows every single week. We cover a variety of topics, usually a little more closer to the gaming journalism side of things. And sometimes just game journalists being fucking stupid. Really stupid.
There's a lot to choose from.
Really fucking stupid.
Oh my god!
Our news episodes every couple of weeks.
Yeah, we have to do our own takes because holy crap. CD, what about you? Where can they find you out there?
Well, besides the same podcast, I'm also on Twitter at Cold Death, where I also facepalm about games journalism and the like. And people and facepalm about people when they complain about Hogwarts Legacy and stuff like that.
Yep, that is a crazy hot take out there.
No, it's not even hot. It's not even hot.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's dead at this point.
Wow. So my eyes really. I'm sorry for our visual audience. I told you I have crazy eyes. Pete, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me on this podcast, the Rapid Reviews Radio podcast.
What?
Shocking, I know.
No, what? What? Where else
Dun,
can
dun,
I find
We're
you?
also on podcast. No, you can also find me on Twitter at PeteBeckett1 and also on the Never Watchers podcast where we're going to be recording the episode of She-Hulk soon.
You have to catch that. I already know how Pete feels. Of course, if you know Pete, you also know how he feels as well.
My
I can
face
guess.
says everything it needs to say.
I can guess. I don't.
Oh
Your
my
face
God.
is tired.
I'm
It's
really
you
excited
when
to
it's done.
record that episode tomorrow, everyone.
I just-
Hooray.
MCU.
It's about as much fanfare as that fucking show got, to be honest.
Okay.
Kylie, where can everyone find you if they want to?
If you want, I don't know. I don't really talk about games on my stuff because I save it for here.
And we now got to the point where the alcohol's kicking in.
Yeah, it really is. That's why I'm hiding my eye because it's doing its own thing.
Oh. Maybe
Almost
maybe,
like drinking a bottle.
yeah. Maybe you should have listened to me when I said, "Pace yourself, bitch. This was a terrible idea." Like, what the fuck was you thinking?
Pace myself. That doesn't exist in my vocabulary. I think I literally said that at the top of the show.
I think you. Good.
Doesn't exist in your vocabulary. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
You know,
know,
alcoholism
this
is
is the
alcoholism is a
It
tough
does.
fucking pill to swallow, ain't it?
Well, not if you swallow it with other alcohol.
There is an expression that exists solely in Kylie's vocabulary, which is "go hard or go home."
Oh heck yeah!
I mean, he's right.
I knew that was coming.
He's right.
Sure.
He's not
Oh,
wrong.
Pete.
I know.
If you want to find me in my weird abstract experimentations with words, I am over at Twitter at Kiley2Great, KLEYTHGREET, or you can find me in my workout crap, which is really boring because it's mostly gym crap. Over on Instagram at Kylie Yellick. And I think that is gonna wrap it up for us.
And if she gets
I
enough followers, she will commit to breaking Pete over her knee in half, like
Yes.
a plywood board.
Whilst saying Bane quotes as she does
I
so.
was gonna
Yeah.
say yes.
She's
Oh
gonna
my
break
God.
him in half, and I'm gonna laugh.
Yes, everyone will laugh. Except Pete.
And you have my permission to die.
Oh my gosh, why did they make that decision with him? Anyway, not my point. Oh, wrap this up. It's been a great show. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. We loved having our guest very much. I already said that, but you know what? I did it
It's
twice.
been fun. Yes.
Always enjoyable when you guys are here. And we're gonna stick around like a minute or two for the live show, but this is gonna wrap it up for the podcast. So we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thus ends the podcast portion, but we are still streaming.
Gonna keep it like really honest for a second, like 100% honest. You know, do you get like discount deals when you buy bottles of wine? Because I feel like you should get like a discount. Like,
fair. Fair.
Is there a punch card? Do you like get a punch card where like every time you
Do the
buy a
kids
bottle
wanna
and
get
finish it, they punch it, and after so many, they just give you a free one? Because I feel like that would be great for you.
I will say this: anytime I'm drinking prosecco, in the last 3 weeks I've been drinking prosecco. That's given to me, usually as payment for something. And so today I was paid for, and let me show the audience again my beautiful gold bottle because I just really like this.
She's paid in alcohol. What are you like?
I live in Ireland.
Look, I would have thought as a business owner, you can't pay your accounts in wine.
I can pay everything in wine.
You can't or you shouldn't.
Well, you shouldn't.
Maybe both.
But today I was moving furniture for someone, and they repaid me with
booze.
Yes.
That's
Pretty
the
much
most
you can't
Irish
do
thing.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't sugarcoat it. It's booze.
It's booze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wino.
Yeah.
Mama's
Kylie.
cough medicine. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of wine subscriptions?
Yes.
Why am I not surprised?
Yes, there is a wonderful one here locally that I'm actually going to be joining soon. You get like 5 bottles of wine a month because it's one a week, and it's like half price if you went and bought those, and that's amazing. I want a wine cellar. I'd probably drink all the wine instead of keep it, but still.
The whole point of having a cellar is you at least keep a couple of bottles of wine in it.
Yeah, because like you defeat the purpose of the cellar if all the bottles are empty.
They're all in my belly. My belly is the cellar.
Yeah, that's not how that works. That's not how that works.
It's crazy. I have done so I was at the gym the other day because that's where I live. Like literally, that's where I live. One of the ladies that partied with me a couple of years ago, she's like, I've never seen anyone like Kylie. She drank 2 entire bottles of wine and was still on the floor upright dancing. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's why I was dancing. I had 2 bottles of wine. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we have a word for people like you in America.
Alcoholics.
Wino.
No, alcoholic.
Yeah.
See, in Ireland, alcoholics are just people who have a great time at parties.
It's a term of endearment.
It's a term
It is,
of endearment.